Hey everyone, thank you for joining me today as we work our way through this official showcase application tutorial. My name is Jared Rivers. I'm the conference director for Folk Alliance International. Thanks for joining. We're going to get started by starting here, the landing page at the folk.org website for the official showcase applications. We can scroll down here and this is where the link will be for the official showcase application. You start here, this button will take you to the payment page for the application. And after you pay, of course, remember, members get 50% off. Anyone can become a member of Folk Alliance. So if you're interested in that 50% off discount, become a member and then come back to this page. And then you'll be prompted to log into your membership and get that 50% discount on the application. After you pay for the application, you will receive an email confirmation with a PDF attachment of all the instructions for how to fill out the application, as well as a link to the application. So let's go ahead and jump over to the application now. There we are. So this is the official showcase application. It's important that you're filling this out on an updated browser. So update your browser before you get started on this. One of the hot tips right off the start is that there is a PDF version of this application in the instructions that you receive as a part of that email confirmation. I highly recommend you just take that PDF and you assemble the answers to all the questions on this in another document in advance. That way, no matter what happens, you don't lose anything. You've got all of your information and you can just copy and paste in the answers. And that's actually what I'll be doing today. I have pre-assembled answers to all of these things and I have them setting aside on another screen. And of course, once this application is sent in, it goes directly to the jury. It goes directly to our app, our website, all the promotional material. So it's really important that you take the time to fill this out correctly, that there's no spelling errors or capitalization errors. So take the time, get it right the first time, and save us all the headaches later. All right, so the very first section, we have contact information. And we're gonna start here with my fictitious band, the River Jug Band, who's gonna be filling this out for today. And the primary contact is the very first thing. This is really important because this is the person that needs to be connected all the way through the entire process. So this is our primary point of contact from Folk Alliance to the artist for this showcase. So from now all the way until January in New Orleans, who is the primary contact? So filling that out now here. All right, and then we can put in the information for the rest of the artist team that's around them. If you do not have one of these representatives working for you and your team, just go ahead and put self-represented. That's what I'm gonna do here in this, but if you had this, put down the company and the email for each person. If you have a tour manager, fill that out. So again, I'm putting in self-represented for these things because I don't have these people on my fictitious band, but you can go ahead and fill it out as needed. And of course, if we have a label, we can put that here. So let's create our label. And this helps us know what labels are being represented in the official showcase artists. So, and then of course you want a direct contact as well. So we have our email here and we'll go ahead and put in the phone number as well. That's it for section 1, just contact information, easy. Section 2. This is the jury materials. Everything in this section goes directly to the jury for the review for this application. It's really important to talk about the most important piece for your artistic quality, and that is the video performance link right here at the top. So there's all kinds of information here about that video. I just think the thing that's most important to talk about is you do not want this video to be having the production quality where the audio and video quality is getting in the way of the artistic expression of the band. So you're shooting for the highest level that you can get on these things, and it should absolutely be a live performance. There are more stipulations here that you can read as you're filling this out, but I think the most important thing to remember is no music videos. This is a live performance of the band. Also, another important thing is that the link needs to be viewable as soon as it's clicked on, or listened to immediately as soon as it's clicked on, without any kind of download. So YouTube, SoundCloud are great for this kind of thing. You can even do private files that only people with the link can access. That's great. Jurors love that too. Just remember, if it requires a download, they're not going to open it. They're not going to judge it. Your application will not be scored. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my links here. So grab the link for my live music application from my separate sheet, paste that in. There's my YouTube video. And then I will go and get some of my songs. So the first song I'm going to grab is a song that is live already out there to the world. That is on my SoundCloud account. Moving on to the jury bio. This bio can be as long as you need it to be. This is the bio that goes to the jury. So this is the one where you get to tell the jury your story. So do that, have it ready, copy, and paste it in. All right. Moving on to the jury category. So this is pick your primary market. That's what we're asking for here. So my band primarily works in the US, even though we tour in other areas, we primarily work in the US. So it's important that we're being judged by a jury that understands our market. So that's why we pick that. Folk Alliance's jury is split into US, Canada, and then international markets. We've got our tour history here. So briefly outlining a tour history. So I've got that, I've already written it. So I'm just gonna copy and paste, just like we're doing in everything else. Put it down here. So I've got my last tour, my July 24 to 25, 2 tours during that time, 60 dates across the Midwest. I've got some highlighted performances, how many shows I sold out, a venue that I played, Tipitina's in New Orleans, where we had 2 sold out shows. Just wanna celebrate that. This is just where you can very quickly show us some of your tour history. The date and title of your last release. So let's see, my last release, enter the title and the date. So we've got, my last one was Tub Thumpin', and that was released in 2024, April of 2024. And then do we have an upcoming album and what is the schedule? So we can put that in here as well. So we'll do Happy Days, and that is coming out in July of 2025. So good information to know, just your release schedule. What was the latest? What's the next one? It's totally fine if you don't have a new album coming out, just leave that blank. All right, link to media coverage. This is something that I think tricks a lot of people up because they think they have to link directly to one article. That's fine. If you were just covered in Rolling Stone, put it in there. But if not, feel free to link to a coverage page on your website. So that's what I'm going to do. riverjugband.com/media is where I keep and track on my website all the great mentions of the band. Awards and recognitions. You know, this is another one where just having this off to the side and my prep document. And I really want to put the things that I've won in here that were my absolute highlights for career. So I'm just going to put there, nominated for Artist of the Year last year. Marketing plan. I've heard a lot of stories about this one tripping people up. It's easier than you think. It is just a brief overview of what are the band's goals and how are you planning to achieve them. It's really that easy. What's the strategy? So I have a brief summary here that I put together for all of that. So kind of an identity statement, some of our plans for our online presence is here, what we're doing online, what we're doing in our live and merch, and then our promotion and growth plan for the coming year. This is really important for our jury to get a handle on your trajectory. And then of course, any additional information that you think would be important. This can be anything that you'd like it to be. Completely wide open. All right, that's it for the jury section. Moving into section 3, this is the artist profile information. As I mentioned before, this information goes directly into the app. It goes directly onto our website. So definitely take the time to get it right. It's worth it. All right, the first headshot that we have here is for the app. So you can see it's a very specific square crop, 750 by 750 pixels, 72 DPI, and color image is highly preferred. So first thing I'm going to do, I've already prepared this image. I took the time to make sure I had the right crop and the right size. It's really important for the app that this is an image that loads very quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that from my hard drive. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I got a little pop-up that allowed me to pick the file. There it is, and I've placed it. So then for the alternate photo, this can be anything, any press photo you want, no restrictions. And we use this in anywhere we can where we aren't restricted to that small crop. So I'm going to go ahead and go grab that image, upload it. There we go. All right, where is the artist based? So I'm going to go ahead and fill this in. So Kansas City, Missouri, United States. So wherever your band is kind of home based, wherever they're from. And some of our bands maybe have a different country of origin than the one that they're working in. So you may be working in the US, but you're originally from Australia, and the music you play is representative of the culture there. Feel free to write that in here. In my fictitious band, there is no country of origin different than the one we're based in. Another one here for the app, this is the short bio. This is not the bio that you put in for the jury. So this needs to be shorter. In the app, sometimes only one sentence will actually render on the first page of the app. So I tell everyone, be as brief as you can, hook them in one sentence. So there it is, one sentence. The River Jug Band, Kansas City Ensemble, bring in the classic tradition with a heartfelt energy. Done. So you want to be quick, you want to hook them quick. Folks in the app are looking through very quickly at profiles. So there's my URL website. People can always go there for more information. Speaking of more information, we're going to put the social profiles in the app. That's the plan anyway. So once again, go to your social page, copy the URL and bring it back. Drop in whichever ones you're a part of. All right. And then the last few bits of information that we want to put in the app is a genre. So you can flip through the genres here. You can also decide other if none of these meet your expectation. I'm going ahead and put traditional. And then if you want, you have a hyphenated genre or you had something that wasn't in the list, just type it in, no problem. We're going to go ahead and pick our PRO. If you do not know what your PRO is, just select other. All right, now to the technical information. So this is the information we use once selected to place the showcase in the showcasing hotel, the host hotel. So this is really important stuff for that. Let's take the time to get it right. So what type of act are you? This is really about how many people are going to be on stage. So if you're a solo performer playing by yourself, pick solo. If you're a duet or a solo performer with one other person, pick duo. And then for any scenario where you have 3 or more people on stage, just pick band. So for me, that's a band. Number of performers on stage, I have 5 people in the band. Please only put a number there. Some people have tried to write other things. It's just confusing. Please keep it a number, the number of performers, please. If you don't know how many performers are going to be in your showcase, just go ahead and give us an estimate. Give us a number. Please don't write between 5 and 10 or anything like that. Just say 5 or say 10. It's fine. We can always talk about it later and change that. Names of band members and roles. This is great for us to just understand again what instruments are coming, what size are they. So I've prepared this off to the side on my other sheet. So I have the names of all my band members and the instruments they play, just putting them in a simple list like this. If you're applying from outside of the US, we provide letters for border crossing for our artists, so please provide the legal names of your band members. This goes directly into those border crossing letters to assist you with coming into the US. A couple of questions on production. Does your showcase require a drum kit? In this case, mine doesn't, but of course, if it did, I could click yes. I can even click preferred, but not required if I'm a band who likes to play with a drum kit, but it's not a deal breaker. So click no there. The exact same thing for keyboard. We don't need one. And then we're going to upload a stage plot. Again, just click choose file. You're looking for a PDF version of the stage plot, preferably that has an image of how the band is going to be laid out on the stage, as well as a line list for our engineers. So that's what I've put here, my River Jug stage plot. And then we're into our final section. This is section 5, additional demographic information. None of this information goes to the jury. So only section 2 information goes to the jury. This information is completely confidential, used by staff only for our own reporting. So will this be the artist's first time attending the conference? Yes, it is. Will it be the first time performing an official showcase? Yes, it is. List any endorsements that you have. Unfortunately, we don't have any, so we'll just leave that blank. But if you had an endorsement with a company, go ahead and list it here. It's helpful information for us. Funding, is the acceptance of your official showcase contingent on any funding? So for us, that's no, but of course, if it was yes, you can put in the name of the funder and you can put in when you'll know the results of that funding. This helps us adjust our timeline if needed to work with you on accepting that showcase. And then finally, we have some demographic information at the end. So how do the members of your group identify? Again, this is just for, let's see, we'll do this here. Put in whatever you want, any ethnic groups, racial groups. This is just for measuring strategic priorities for Folk Alliance. This is not shared and it's not ever reported one-to-one. It's always used in groups. Does anyone in the band identify as a BIPOC? We'll say yes. Does anyone in the band identify as LGBTQ? Yes. Does anyone identify as disabled? Yes. Do any performers in the band identify as woman, transgender, or non-binary? In this fictitious example, we'll say no. All right, and then the last thing, there's some disclaimers, there's some clauses here. These are just important things for you to know as you complete the last step of the application. So the first one up is the registration clause. Please read these, but I'll summarize here on this video. It just says that anyone attending this conference, anyone attending this showcase has to register. Anyone, everyone, you all have to register. It doesn't mean necessarily you're all going to pay the same rate. There's all kinds of things like scholarships available. Special registration rates apply all the time. So, but you have to register. You're not getting into the showcases without registering. It's a closed private event. There is a registration deadline for artists to be registered by November 1st. You don't want to be waiting past that date unless you have told us specifically that there's a reason for you to be. I'll just go ahead and go through these and click yes as I'm going. It's that simple. A guest clause, we do not have guests passes for Folk Alliance at all. There's no public attendance or anything like that. So you get no guest invitations. But if you have people you want to invite, you just need to run it through Folk Alliance. So contact your production coordinator, tell them you have strategic invites you'd like to make, and we'll take it from there. There is, of course, a radius clause. Like many showcasing events, we have a lot of work that goes into bringing presenters and industry delegates into the hotel. And this radius clause just says if you're an official showcase act, you're not going to be performing off-site during the showcases at the conference. Out of respect to your fellow artists, we're trying to keep the presenters in the hotel so that everyone can share in that benefit that you're getting. And then we have a riders and backline clause. And this is just understanding that this is a showcasing event. Very short sets, very short changeovers. We have 5 or 6 acts on a stage every night. And because of that, the stages are set. The lighting is set, the backline is set, and we'll be communicating in advance what is on the stage. And you, as a band, need to be ready to showcase on that stage with that provided backline. We do not fulfill riders or anything like that. Anything that is not provided in the backline is the responsibility of the artist to provide to be ready to showcase in that environment. And then finally, we have a promotional clause. We encourage all of our artists to post on that they've become an official showcase artist on their social media, and Folk Alliance works collaboratively with you on this. And that's it. Once we're at the end, we can hit submit. Thank you very much for taking the time to walk through this with me. I hope I was able to answer some of your questions and make this easy for you to apply for a showcase at our 2026 conference in New Orleans. Thank you.